Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. My name is Erin. I am so excited to bring you a DIY project for your journals and planners today. So what we are going to be making is a laminated cover for a notebook of choice. It works best with soft bound notebooks. And the reason I'm making it, I have a new notebook jacket, Giglio Punta coming in today. And I've been carrying the B6, and the B6 doesn't make, I can't find a cover that's cute that'll allow me to slip it into a notebook jacket like this and have the front protected and have the front kind of cute. So I made a couple of covers. Just kind of playing around, and one of them, which now I don't even know what I did with it, turned out really cute, and I posted it in a Facebook group, and I had a lot of questions about it and how I made it. So I figured I'd hop on and do a how-to video. So I'm going to be making one for a B6 today, and it's going to look kind of like this. This is the one that I made to go over my B6 when I put it into its new planner jacket home this afternoon when it gets here. So what you're going to need is decorative paper of choice, a straight edge, a cutting tool, of course a laminating pouch, and your laminator. Now if you don't have a laminator, you can use the self-sealing laminating pouch if you wanted to. And then I'm also going to be using my scoreboard. So I'm going to start by cutting some decorative paper. And I have it lined up. And, okay, so I've practiced a little bit with my cutting board. If you have something other than a Fisk and you're making a size other than a B6, my recommendation is the first time you do it, just use blank paper until you find out what size you're going to need to cut to give your fit that you're looking for on your planner. So this is where I was kind of practicing the technique. So I'm going to cut it down. And again, this is for a B6 and it's on a Fisk cutter. And I'm just going one tick above the arm. And then I want this pretty black decorative. And I'm gonna go one tick above 10 3/4, and I'm gonna cut it there. And then that is gonna give me my front and my back covers, and then my pockets. Now, I like the edges slightly rounded. This one was done with a 1/4 round. This one was done with a 1/2 inch round. I like the look of the 1/2 inch round, but I had to tip the ends of my Stalogy on the front just so they would line up and not peek through. So this is with the 1/4 inch. I didn't have to do any trim work to the book. So I'm going to recommend 1/4 inch if you don't want to deface your Stalogy. If you're looking for that more aesthetic look, a 1/2 inch is perfect. So I'm just gonna, look, I'm trying to stay within frame. I'm sitting in my floor. All right, so we're just gonna take that. Now we're gonna make pockets. There's two ways you can do it. You can run this through the laminator this way if you want to keep the pretty decorative paper, or you can cut your pockets, lay them down, and laminate it that way. So both ways are completely and totally acceptable. I just didn't like this flap, and I found when I was cutting it that, I mean, you can do it that way. I'm just lazy and it's easier for me to do it this way. So I'm gonna make some 4-inch sides for my pockets. So I'm gonna cut that one at 4 inches, and I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna cut this one at 4 inches. And I'm going to be done with the cutting board for just a little bit. Don't put it away. You're going to need it again. And then I am not talented enough to stick this lined up like this. Oh, look, there's a hair. in a laminating pouch. But you don't want to run tape runner down the center of it or something, because you're going to have to be able to get that sleeve of your jacket in there. So what I did was just ran it along corners to line my paper up that way and have it kind of stay in place as I run it through the laminating machine. And I just pinch it down, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Y'all, this little glass board thing was the best investment I have ever made, I think, because my glue gun wipes right off of it. I can use my sticky tapey stuff on it and it just rubs right off, or you can take a little glue gun and pull it right off. Usually I can just rub it off. Okay, so I have it like that. I'm using my Mink machine because my laminator is on my desk, and my desk was a mess and I didn't want to clean my desk off to do the video. So once you have it laid out how you want your pockets and all that good stuff, you're gonna put it in the laminating pouch. Now, if you're like me and you can't keep it straight to save your life, that's okay, because we're gonna trim this baby down a little bit. So I do recommend using a 3mm laminating pouch if you have it. I'm using 5mm. They work. It just makes the spine a little stiff. So yeah. And then you're just gonna run it through the laminating machine. So here's a look at the finished product there. And then a pencil board to kind of slip in the side pocket that I can put a little pin loop on. So I'll have a second pin loop in it. And then I couldn't sleep last night, so I made some foiled bow bookmarks. Y'all, don't get up at 2 in the morning because you can't sleep and try to craft when you're dog tired, because I literally stayed at this till like 10 o'clock in the morning and went through so much foil and so many overhead projector sheets, because my brain and my silhouette just were not in sync at all yesterday morning. So this is a thinner paper, so I probably don't need to run it through again, but you can see the edges are real pretty. They're real smooth. Everything looks amazing. So next, you just want to cut your pocket openings. And I use a metal straight edge ruler. Oops, because I do that. I get off. And you want to press, but you don't want to press so hard you're going through the paper underneath. If you've seen my card pocket videos, you just want to kind of score. And I didn't press, oh, I did press hard enough. You just want to kind of score it so you're breaking that open. And you can see I was off a little bit, but the book's going to cover that piece up. So if I wanted to, I could come in and just trim it so it's a pretty edge. When I put my book in it, it'll look clean. The pocket I'm concerned about being perfect is going to be my front pockets, because that's what's going to be exposed. And I just want to make sure that edge is really straight and really smooth. And I'm not taking it all the way across the top. I'm stopping where the paper stops. And then what I'm going to do is grab my cutting board again. Now, this is where it gets really technical, y'all. You ready? So, I don't know what this measurement is. I know when I laminate, if I line the edge of my paper up with the white on this board, that it's going to give me a pretty even edge. So, then I cut it. And that's like so precise and so technical. You know, a lot of these things, I just kind of eyeball them until it works, and then I try to go back and measure things and write those measurements down. Or if you remember from some of my earlier videos, that older cut board that I have has all those washi tape marks on it for like where to cut for a pocket size, where to cut for a personal, and all that kind of good stuff. And then I just don't like sharp plastic corners because I notoriously am going to nick myself with it. So I'm going to round it off, and I need to empty my crocodile. Okay, and then you are just going to take your book. Now, at this point, I'm fixing to run this through my laminator one more time, just because I want to get that plastic warm so it'll mold around my book the way that I want it to mold to. And then we may use this scoreboard. This is a little bit lighter paper, so it probably won't need to be scored as much. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can also use like a ruler for this part. I use a bigger ruler if I'm not using the scoreboard. Now, your spine that you're going to want to create needs to be just over 1/2 inch on your cover, because we tend to stuff our notebooks and they tend to get a little big. And I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of breathing room to grow. And you just slip it in. You're going to come to the back and you're going to slip it in. Now, the first time you put it on, and I know I'm off camera because you have to kind of fly things back. And it's hard to do it gracefully on camera. So, you're going to put it on, and then I just kind of pinch in a spot about where I need that spine to be. So it kind of marks it. And then I just pull it out. And if it's warm when you put it on, it's just going to help kind of mold that spine to where you need it to be. So that's 1, 2. So I'm going to go about 1 inch out and score down that plastic. And this is where I'm getting technical again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like my spine 6 ticks. So you can see I used kind of that crease mark as a guide. And then I'm going to take it and fold it there. Now, if you're working with thicker cardstock and it's not wanting to take shape, or you're working with a little thicker of a laminate, you can actually take it when it's like that, run it through your laminator again with both of the creases if it's having a hard time kind of taking that form. But if you're using just light, like this is like literally, I don't know, this is probably 20 pounds. It's not much thicker than copy paper. It's like that cheap Walmart book that has like 100 sheets of decorative paper in it for like $5. And you now have a form-fit cover. And if you wanted to, you could put like a Target dollar spot pocket in there. You could attach a pin loop to it, whatever you wanted. So that is start to finish how I make my decorative covers. Now, to help train the plastic, if you just wanted to put something heavy on it for 24 hours to kind of help it keep its form, you could do that. You could also take your heat gun and just kind of lightly warm up that spine and use your fingers to kind of push it over and hold it over in place until it sits the way that you want it to sit. So that's how you do it. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below or email me at erinsgotaplan@gmail.com, and I will get back to the comments and the questions as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel and you would like to see other helpful real-life planner tips and ideas, please just subscribe, hit the little bell, and you'll get a notification on when new videos go up. So until next time, remember, we all got a plan. We just all do it a little bit differently. Thanks, guys.